and we will be creating this design. Okay guys, so we have these photos. I got this sunblock photo from the Google, and these two photos, in the previous lesson we combined them together and we made this photo out of it. Just to remind you that I got my photos from the pixels. Now let's create a new document. We are going to use these settings 1080, 1350, and resolution will be 200. Everything else will be the same. Now let's bring our background first, and the background should fit in the frame just like this. If it doesn't, just scale it. Next thing, we will bring our sunblock and fit it like this. Scale it down a bit, rotate it. Okay, we will fit our sunblock over here. The next thing, I'm going to create a new empty layer. I will name this shadow. And then we will clip mask it, press on the Alt or Option and click on it. Just like this. It's now clip masked to the sunblock. Whatever you paint over it, it will only appear on the sunblock. Press I to get the color from this area. And then I will go to the color and make it darker, like this. Press B for the brush. We will make the opacity 10 or 6 is good. Then we will paint over it. Actually, I will make the opacity 2 now. And then paint over this side. We want to make some shadow in this side of the sunblock. Paint until you get something like this. Then change the blending mode to the multiply. And we will paint more. When I paint like this, I always paint more than I want, and then I add a mask to it. With the mask, I remove some of it. Just like this, we add a mask to this shadow, and we are going to remove it like this. Like this, we make a very nice combination, and we also have more control over our layer. Okay, now let's create another layer. It's empty layer for sure. We will name it light, clip mask it just like the other one. Change the blending mode to the... Make it linear burn or linear light. Let's make it linear burn for now. We will get the color from this area, press B for the brush and paint over it. I just want to remind you guys that I is for the eyedrop to get your color and B is for the brush. I just made the color a bit brighter and I will paint over it. But obviously the linear burn is not working, not doing what we want. For that, I'm going to change the blending mode to something else. We will make it linear light, obviously, but I want to see what else do we have. I'm just trying the color burn and see. Still not working. Let's change it to something else. We will go with the linear light actually. This is what we want. We want some of the brightness on this side. We will give it a mask to it because it's too much now. And then with the black color on the brush, I will remove some of it like this. Perfect. Now that we finished the light and the shadow on the sunblock, we want to create the shadow for the sunblock on the people. So I'm going to duplicate this. I Command J on it. I will name this shadow of the sunblock. Okay, shadow of the sunblock. Move it down like this. Because we moved our layers, the shadow and the light layer lost their clipping mask. We are going to do it again, just like this. And then select the shadow of the sunblock. Press Command or Control and move the point like this. We want to stretch it just like this. I just flipped it, and then we will move these points up. Don't forget that you need to press on the Command or Control in Windows to make this. Guys, I'm using the Mac system. If for some reason, for example, I'm now pressing on the Command and it should be Control on Windows, if it doesn't, you just try other stuff. Try Alt or Shift or Windows key on the keyboard. Now let's fit our shadow over here. Make something similar to this one. Then we will give an adjustment effect, which is the color overlay. We wanted to make it black. Something like this. Press OK. Now I want to make it a bit taller, this shadow. I'm pressing on the control to make it like this and move the individual points. We need to fix this area and this one as well. Try to make something like this. Now add a layer mask to it, go to the brush, use the black color. I'll make the brush bigger using the bracket keys and paint over it like this to remove some of it. I'm going to increase the opacity. It's 3 now. I want to make it maybe 9 or 10. Now remove it like this. This side you remove it a lot, and the closer we are from the sunblock, the shadow will be harsher. Just like this. Okay, now I want to adjust the shadow a bit more. Oh, sorry, don't rotate it. Command Z or Control Z, then press on the control and move it like this. I want to change the direction of the shadow to this side a bit, just like this. Perfect. Double click on it. Now we will create another empty layer. We will make some of the shadows around the sunblock. Go to the brush tool, change the color to dark gray, something like this. We will make the brush smaller. I'm using the bracket keys for that. We will need some of the shadows in this area of the sunblock. I'm going to paint the shadow all around the sunblock, and later if you want we will remove the parts that we don't want. Let's keep it like this for now. I'll go to the shadow layer, the shadow of the sunblock, right click on it, right click over this area and then rasterize it. And then I'm going to add the filter. I will add blur, Gaussian blur, not this one actually, the Gaussian blur. I'll just Command Z and then go to the filters, Gaussian blur. Then bring down the radius. We want something like this. Perfect. Now I need to go to the shadow that we created around the sunblock. Then we'll give it a mask layer, and I'm going to remove some of the areas, especially these areas. We don't want it. We need to remove more. This area. This area as well, and a bit from this area. Perfect. Okay guys, we are almost done with our design. There is a bit of too much of the shadow in the left side of the sunblock. I want to fix that. I'll go to the shadow layer, which is this one. Click on the mask layer like this. Then we'll go to the brush tool and I will remove this point a bit more. Perfect. Just like this, we are done with our design. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new. I can't wait to see your projects. Please don't forget to share with me with the Facebook group. I'll see you in the next lesson and next section.